In the heart of New England, nestled among the dense forest, lay the forgotten town of Willow Falls. Once a vibrant community, it now stood as a mere shadow of its former self, its streets silent and its buildings crumbling. Legends whispered of dark secrets buried beneath its soil, and those who dared to uncover them were met with unimaginable horrors. It was a crisp autumn evening when Sarah and her friends, Emma and Jake, arrived in Willow Falls. They had heard rumors of the town's eerie past and sought to explore its mysteries firsthand. As they drove through the winding roads, the dense canopy of trees seemed to swallow them whole, casting eerie shadows across their path. Pulling into the deserted town square, Sarah shivered despite the warmth of her jacket. The buildings loomed ominously in the fading light, their windows boarded up and their doors sealed shut. It was as if the town itself was trying to keep its secrets hidden from prying eyes. Undeterred by the oppressive atmosphere, the friends set up camp in the town square, their tents pitched beneath the watchful gaze of an ancient oak tree. As the fire crackled and the stars twinkled overhead, they regaled each other with tales of the supernatural, each story more chilling than the last. The following morning, Sarah awoke to find herself alone in the campsite. Panic surged through her veins as she called out for Emma and Jake. There was no response. Clutching a flashlight tightly in her trembling hand, she ventured into the abandoned streets, her heart pounding with every step. It didn't take long for Sarah to find her friends. They were standing in front of a dilapidated mansion at the edge of town, their faces pale with terror. Jake pointed a shaky finger at the looming structure, his voice barely a whisper. "We heard voices," he stammered, coming from inside. With a sense of dread gnawing at her insides, Sarah followed her friends into the depths of the mansion. The air was thick with dust and decay, and the floorboards creaked beneath their feet. As they explored further, they stumbled upon a hidden staircase leading down into darkness. Ignoring the warning signs, they descended into the abyss below. The walls seemed to close in around them, and the temperature plummeted to freezing. Strange symbols adorned the walls, their meaning lost to time. At the bottom of the staircase, they found themselves in a vast chamber illuminated by a single flickering torch. In the center of the room stood an ancient well, its waters black as night. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as she approached it, a sense of unease washing over her. Without warning, the well began to whisper, its voice echoing through the chamber like a ghostly lament. Sarah recoiled in horror as she realized the truth. The well was cursed, and it hungered for blood. Frantic with fear, the friends scrambled to escape, but the chamber seemed to twist and turn, trapping them in its grasp. With nowhere left to run, they huddled together as the darkness closed in around them, their screams echoing through the empty void. Hours passed, and still, the friends remained trapped in the cursed chamber. Their bodies grew weak with hunger and exhaustion, their minds consumed by madness. In a desperate bid for survival, they made a pact. One of them would have to make the ultimate sacrifice. With tears in their eyes, they drew straws to determine who would meet their fate. The unlucky one was Emma, her trembling hand clutching the shortest straw. With a heavy heart, she stepped forward, offering herself to the cursed well in a final act of defiance. As Emma descended into the depths of the well, her friends watched in horror as she vanished into the darkness below. The chamber rumbled with a deafening roar, and a foul stench filled the air. When the dust settled, Emma was gone, her fate sealed by the curse of Willow Falls. With Emma gone, Sarah and Jake knew they had to escape Willow Falls before they suffered the same fate. With newfound determination, they navigated the twisting corridors of the mansion, their hearts pounding with every step. Just as they reached the surface, they were confronted by a horde of shadowy figures, their eyes gleaming with malice. Sarah and Jake fought valiantly, but they were no match for the supernatural forces that sought to claim their souls. In their final moments, as darkness closed in around them, Sarah and Jake clung to each other, their screams echoing through the abandoned streets of Willow Falls. And as the last embers of their campfire flickered out, the town returned to its eternal slumber, its secrets buried once more beneath the soil.